All right, well, so I'm about to prime the rudder parts, and I went ahead and I thought I'd go ahead and give a tour of Paint Booth 2.0. So in an earlier video, I showed where I'd created a paint booth, about a 9-foot by 9-foot section of the workshop in the basement down here. I walled off temporarily with plastic in order to prime the vertical stabilizer parts. And a lot of people ask me, was that big enough? And the answer is sort of. It was big enough to do the vertical stabilizer just fine. It would have been big enough to do the rudder, but I wanted a little more space. It just seemed like, you could never have too much space, I think. So I went ahead and just sealed off this section of the basement. This is temporary. I can take it down. It's just cheap, thin plastic, and I've got it stapled up there. Obviously, it's not sealed up very well. It doesn't need to be. And then down at the bottom, it's just held down, with some weights. But then I've got my squirrel cage fan in the window there, and when I turn that on, it pulls enough air through here that it'll keep a good flow and, keep the fumes from getting into the rest of the house. And that's all I really need. So I've got my rudder skins set up on the PVC stand or frame that I use to paint the vertical stabilizer parts. And then this here, so, when you hang the parts from little wires or coat hanger pieces or whatever, when you spray them, they tend to twist around in the wind like wind chimes, and there's so many little skinny parts for the rudder. I actually decided to put them on something like this. I thought about pegboard, but I didn't have any pegboard, and I had this pink foam board laying around, so I just took and poked some finish nails in there and hung the parts from those. So I think that'll work just fine. Obviously, I'll have to spray and then let it dry a little bit and then flip them around, but that'll be just fine, I think. And yeah, I've still got to clean them and scuff them a little bit with the gray Scotch-Brite, so I'm gonna get to work doing that with acetone and gray Scotch-Brite and paper towels and whatnot. And then I'll get the sprayer going, and hopefully I'll get everything primed today.